Γεια σας, καλησπέρα σας. Καλώς ορίσατε στο κανάλι μας στο A2THEPSHOW με εμένα τον Θωμάν, τον Στέφανο, τον φίλο μου τον Στέφανο και ο Πέτρος. If you're new to the channel, before we get into the football, κάνετε subscribe, κάνετε like και να κάνετε share across all your social media platforms. Just before I carry on, just want to say thank you. We've gone up to 261 subscribers. So let's try and get it to at least 270, 280 before Christmas comes, or even after Christmas would be great. So we appreciate all the support. And I've even shared the link in the comments. So if anyone's available to join, they're more than welcome. Stefano, how are you?
I'm good. Very good. I'm happy for the win, clean sheet. What more can you ask? Honestly.
Να μου είπες για την 11, να μου νομίζεις. Ήταν καλή 11, είχε κάτι να σου άρεσε.
Ήταν refreshing. Έτσι μου ήταν refreshing η 11. Ήταν 4-3-3. Ήταν bold decision που τον προπονητή να βάλει και ο δεκάρκα σε θέσεις οχτάρι. Έβαλε τον Σεμέτο, καρτέρον αλλοιούμε λόγω fitness, αλλά ο Σεμέτο δεν θέλει τον επειδή είναι big game player και ξέρεις έτσι παιχνικιά θέλεις τον Σεμέτο και να πιάει φόρμα θέμεις και confidence. Γιοβετίτς, ήμουν χαρούμενος που είδα τον Γιοβετίτς στην 11, σαν striker force να εντάχα να βοηθά τους άλλους ούλους στην επίθεση και στο κέντρο. Ήταν ο Λοΐζου και άλλοι ήταν ο Διονγκού, Κίτσος, Παναγιώτου και Κουλιπάλη η 11. Ήταν η ομάδα έμπηκε ενεφοήχηκε. Θα το πω έτσι, ενεφοήχηκε. Δηλαδή εντάξει, είχαν τις ευκαιρίες η Πάφος, είχαν και εμείς έτσι όπως ότι ήταν η Ομόνοια εκτός παιχνιδιού και απλά η Πάφος έκαμε μπουμ συνέχεια. Θα κρατούσαν και εμείς μια τη μάπα, μπορείς και φορές που φκέναν μπροστά, ας πούμε, αλλά περνά το πρώτο μήχρονο, εντάξει ήταν και το domination που την Πάφο, δεύτερο μήχρονο ήταν πολλά πιο παραπάνω και ένας από τους λόγους που έβαλαν και τους δυο, τον Εβάντρο και ο Σίμιτς στις σύνδεσεις που δεν το περίμενα, λέω και ποιος είναι να παίξει πού, να παίξει Εβάντρο οχτάρι και ο Σίμιτς δεκάρι και ο Λούδος εξάρι, εντός να γίνει και οχτάρκα. Αλλά αν το σκεφτείς, επειδή παίζαμε με low block όλη ομάδα, παίζαμε όλοι πίσω, δηλαδή ήθελαν να βγαίνουν 5 παίχτες στην επίθεση. Να βγαίνουν 5 παίχτες, να βγαίνουν ο Εβάντρο, ο Σίμιτς, ο Σεμέτο, ο Λοΐζου και ο Γιοβετίτς να μαζί τους και να βγαίνουν όλοι μαζί ένα quick on the counter-attack. Τι είναι το στυλ που θέλουν να παίξει. Εγώ το Αστονία πάλι Μάριτς, Κούσουλος, τούτη φορά. Είδα κάτι διαφορετικό. Είδα έναν καλό midfield, balanced. Είδα μια άμυνα σήμερα. Εντάξει, ναι, έκαναν ευκαιρίες η Πάφος, αλλά ήταν μια άμυνα που καθάρισε τις φάσεις τούτη φορά, ενέφοατον να μπει σε challenges, ενευρίαζαν την Πάφος ώρες. Δηλαδή, χωρίς είχαν και τον άστινες, και την τσαπουκά, και τον άστι, είχαν το η ομάδα σήμερα. Ήταν το εντελώς αντίθετο με το παιχνίδι με τη Λέικια. Και δεν ξέρω να που τους είπε ο προπονητής, πριν το παιχνίδι, μετά το παιχνίδι, γιατί, εντάξει, και ήμασταν perfect, αλλά σε έτσι παιχνίδια θέλεις έτσι performance. Και τον που λαλούμε εμείς τόσο καιρό. Κάνουμε struggle όταν μας πιέζουν, όταν βάλουν παίχτες συνέχεια μέσα στην επαρθονητική μας, κάνουν σέντρες ή κάνουν επίθεση. Και σήμερα δεν έκαναμε panic οι παίχτες, δεν έκαναμε break η άμυνα, δηλαδή είδαμε εκείνο που θέλαμε να δούμε σε αυτό το situation και για μένα που είχαμε την ευκαιρία μας εμείς να βάλουμε τον κόλ, έκαναμε το. Και τούτον που λαλώ και του βέμω γύρισμου, πέραν που χάνεται τις ευκαιρίες η Πάφος, δηλαδή μου με αυτά τιμωρεί. Και να δεις ότι κάτι να γίνει ή να πιάνουν ισοπαλία ή να σδέρουμε σήμερα. Έτσι όπως επήγαινε το παιχνίδι. Ήταν το μόνο, για μένα ήταν ο μόνος τρόπος που μπορούσε να δέρει την Πάφος σήμερα. Ο μόνος.
Οκ. Πέτρο, πες μας να πω νομίζεις.
Εντάξει, και εγώ παραξενεύτηκα που είδα και Σίμιτς και Βάντρο και Μάριτς. Δηλαδή, παίζαν και οι δυο, ο Μάριτς εξάρι, και ο Βάντρο και Σίμιτς οχταροδεκάρκα και οι δυο πιέναν ομπρός πίσω. Παραξενεύτηκα. Ήταν πολλά παράξενο ο τρόπος που είναι το σύστημα. Ειδικά με τους δυο παίκτες, γιατί συνηθίσαμε το Σίμιτς ή δεκάρι Winger. Έτσι συνηθίσαμε το Σίμιτς. Εν περίμενα το Ιόιτς να ξεκινήσει, περίμενα να ξεκινήσει, αλλά να παίξει κορυφή. Περίμενα να βάλει καπουλί εδώ, για να μπορεί γιατί έχει και το κράτημα της μπάλας ο Ιόιτς να μοιράσει παιχνίδι. Περίμενα να κρατήσει λίγο την μπάλα για να μπορεί να μοιράσει παιχνίδι. Ήταν λίγο παράξενη η ενδεκάδα, γιατί δεν το περίμενα με τίποτε. Νίκες σαν τούτες δείχνουν το κοινό που φωνάζουμε τόσο καιρό, το μέταλλο που ληφκούμασταν από την αρχή, μόλις άρχισε το πρωτάθλημα. Μετά από 3 μέρες αλλάξαν πάρα πολλά, δηλαδή από την Πέμπτη που τέγησε η Λέγκια, Παρασκευή, Σάββατο, Κυριακή, 3 μέρες. Δεν ξέρω τι τους είπε ο Αναστασίου, τι τους έκαμε, πάντως είδαμε μια άμυνα πολλά δυνατή, πέφταν κορμιά, ο Μάριτς ειδικά και ο Κουλιμπάλη, βάλαν το σώμα τους ομπρός, πέφταν χαμέ, βάλαν το σώμα τους ομπρός για να κόψουν τη μάπα. Τούτο που λέγαμε ότι για να σε συμπαγεί στην άμυνα πρέπει όλοι να μαρκαρούν και σωστά. Ο τρόπος που μαρκάρεις να είναι σωστός, όχι να βουράς άλλη δα, όπως έκαμε παλιά και δεν ήξερε ο καθένας, δεν ήξερε ο παίκτης πού να σταθεί, πού να πάει. Ήταν μια νίκη, εντάξει, δεν κάναμε τη μεγάλη εμφάνιση, είπαν και περιμέναμε μέσα σε 3 μέρες να γίνουμε η Ρεάλ Μαδρίτης. Μέσα σε 3 μέρες. Και ειδικά να δέρεις την Πάφος στην έδρα της, που η Πάφος πάντα βάλει 2-3 τέρματα και πάνω και δέχεται εύκολα γκολ. Πρώτο. Και δεύτερο σημείο, η Ομόνια τρώει πάρα πολλά γκολ. Δηλαδή, να με φάει τέρμα που η Πάφο, που είναι πολλά επιθετική ομάδα, και με φάει σου τέρμα που δέχεσαι, με το παραμικρό δέχεσαι γκολ και να νικήσεις, είναι πολλά σημαντική νίκη. Δεν με ενδιαφέρει και τόσο πολλά η απόδοση, γιατί είπα σου, δεν περιμένουμε σε 3 μέρες να γίνουν θαύματα. Νικήσαμε.
Εν το τελευταίο μπορεί να σε ενδιαφέρει η απόδοση. Γιατί άμα πιάσεις το αποτέλεσμα, μου λέγανε καλά και ευκαινεί και αυτό επίθεση σου μετά.
Αν θυμάστε, είπα μετά το παιχνίδι με τη Λέγκια, αν θυμάστε, ότι αν δέρουμε την Πάφο, που δεν το νομίζα, δεν το πίστευκα, είπα σας το, δεν το πιστεύω, αλλά είπα σας, αν δέρουμε την Πάφο, το Σάββατο στο Αγασιπί θα είναι πανικός.
Ναι.
Θα είναι πανικός. Και εγώ πιστεύω ότι αν δέρουμε και το ΑΠΟΕΛ θα είναι το turning point.
Μπορεί να είναι.
Γιατί θα πιάσει την ψυχολογία και έχεις 4 συνεχόμενα παιχνίδια από Εθνικό, Σαλαμίνα, ΑΕΚ και Ανόρθωση που μπορεί να τα δέρεις. Νομμένο ότι είναι το λάθος.
Ναι.
Εντάξει.
Μην πάμε τόσο μακρά.
Ναι.
Παιχνί με παιχνί. Τώρα έχουμε...
Εντυπωσιάστηκα πάρα πολλά από τον Διονγκού σήμερα. Ήταν απίστευτος. Και είναι εύκολο να μαρκάρεις το Ζάζα. Ο πιο γλίωρος, αν δεν είναι ο πιο γλίωρος όχι, από τους 3 top γλίωρους στο πρωτάθλημα μας. Και είναι εύκολο να μαρκάρεις.
Skillful, γλίωρος, δηλαδή ρε φίλε τους παίχτης να πιστεύω. Παιχταράς. Και να τον κάνεις lock-up έτσι.
Έσβησεν τον.
Φίλε, ναι.
Έσβησεν τον.
Εντάξει, είπε ο Στέφανος MVP, man of the match. Εσένα, Πέτρο, ήταν Γινίνος, ο Διούνκου. Μάριτς. Ας σου πω άλλον πράγμα που σκέφτηκα, άλλον παίχτη. Εγώ για μένα ήταν ο Κουλεπάλη. Ναι, μπράβο. Κουλεπάλη. Να σας πω γιατί, εντάξει, ξέρω είναι καλός παίχτης, αλλά άλλες τελευταίες μέρες που ήταν μες στην ομάδα, I don't know, it's like overrated. Χωρώ τον και να δω, καλά ρε, you're supposed to be the best defender we've got. Άντε, ξύμνα λίγο. So, έκαμε τη δουλειά του σήμερα. Him and Fabiano were really good today. Αλλά όλοι, in terms of effort, in terms of running and desire and determination, όλοι, they deserve it. They've been fantastic today.
Για τον Εβάντρο σήμερα να βουρά, να μαρκάρει, να τρέχουν γέματα από πάνω.
Ναι ρε.
I wasn't expecting that from Εβάντρο. It was like a dog. Τα σκυλί σήμερα ο Εβάντρο. Που ο Εβάντρο ξέρουμε έτσι...
Σκύλ του, να μην μαρκάρει τον αντάλλο.
Να μην βουρά, να μην... Σήμερα που γαμώτο. Και ο Σεμέδο το ίδιο, πόσες επιστροφές έκαμε. Μάρκαρε πολλά. Ήταν όλοι όσο έπρεπε παίξα για να δέρεις ως τώρα την καλύτερη ομάδα του πρωταθλήματος.
Είπα του Στέφανο, ρε Πέτρο, I felt a little bit optimistic because how worse can it get που εφάμε τις που λέγα. I think they'll put some effort in. Εντάξει, τούτο λάλλουμε το πάντα φέτος, they've been trying and just there's not one game they've been really embarrassing, in my opinion. They've always tried, οι παίχτες μας. Αλλά σήμερα ήταν κάτι άλλο. So, ξέρετε πως σκέφτηκα, καλά ρε, if you're playing for Γιάννη Αναστασίου έτσι, γιατί δεν βάλουμε μες στη δουλειά? Why don't we just put him as a head coach? Εν το θέλει.
Φίλε, μπορεί να μην το θέλει, μπορεί επειδή ο ρόλος του είναι άλλος ρε, ότι ο ρόλος του είναι να φέρνει παίχτες, να βρέσει προπονητή, να οργανώνει την ομάδα. Δηλαδή, αν τώρα κάτσει λίγο καιρό δαμε πρώτος coach ο Αναστασίου, όταν να κάτσει να έχει ώρα να βρει άλλον coach, να βρει παίχτες, να οργανώνει, δεν είναι εύκολο. Η δουλειά του είναι άλλη. Εντάξει.
Διάστο όμως ως το τέλος της χρονιάς.
Δεν θα πάει. Άντε το πολύ με την Paphos, το με το ΑΒΕΛ, δεν θα πάει παραπάνω.
Αλλά ρωτάς μας εμάς τάχα if we wanted him to stay for the whole year.
Ναι, if you want him as well.
Ναι και όχι ρε Στέφανε, γιατί ξέρει την ομάδα, ξέρει τους παίχτες, ξέρει να κοουτσάρει, αλλά από την άλλη επειδή έχει τα connections του, θέλω να οργανώσει την ομάδα.
Yeah, okay. I mean, έπαιζα his record past το transfer mark since he's been Omonoia. Then I mean, his first game ήταν με το Άρη, 25th of February, sorry. Then I'm in Zagaji in the 28th, 4th of March, and then I'm in Anostosy, Εφάμε τες 1-0 που την ΑΕΚ. Ύστερα έδαμε από ΕΛ 1-0, 1-1 ισοπαλία, 3-0 με την Άρη. Έδαμε την Άρη 3-0 μες στο κύπελλο, 2-0 έδαμε την Ανόρθωση. Πιάσαμε ισοπαλία, but that was the second round or second leg of the cup. Φάμε τες που την ΑΕΚ, 2-0, 1-0 έδαμε το ΑΠΟΕΛ, 1-1 ισοπαλία και obviously το τελικό 3-0. So he's only lost 3 games in his record. Καλημέρα κοπέγια.
And don't forget...
Καλησπέρα σου, εννοώ καλημέρα.
Μην ξιάνουμε ότι ο Αναστασίου πότε έπιανε την ομάδα. Γιατί δεν έπιανε μια ομάδα από την αρχή της σεζόν, ούτε φέτος, ούτε πέρσι. Και όχι καλό ρεκόρντ. Εντάξει. Μπορεί να μην το θέλει ο ίδιος, μπορεί... Δεν ξέρει κανένας.
Πανίκο, ακόμα μας χωρίς, πέ μας να μου νομίζεις θέλεις να μείνει ο Αναστασίου, όξα it's not possible. Και κάμε μας like, ρε Πανίκο μου.
Θα σου πω, ξέρω ότι είναι διαφορετικός ο ρόλος του και ξέρω και του Αναστασίου, αλλά εν το που είπε και ο Πέτρος, ξέρω τους παίκτες, ξέρει την ομάδα, ξέρω την καρτερό που λέω του, δηλαδή ξέρω τι περιμένω από τον Αναστασίου, δηλαδή να δω στα παιχνίδια που πρέπει να παίξει με τον τρόπο, όπως σήμερα, να παίξει με τον τρόπο. Στα παιχνίδια, έβγαινες πιο μικρές ομάδες για παράδειγμα που πρέπει να μπει και ξέρω εγώ και να μπει φουλ επίθεση και να βάλει τέρματα, δηλαδή καρτερό τον ναι, ενώ με τις ομάδες, με τις μυαλές θα πάει φουλ επίθεση και να τις φάει ας πούμε, να κάτσει άμυνα.
Με Πάφο και Άρη δεν μπορεί να παίξεις φουλ επίθεση. Πρέπει να παίξεις όπως εξυπηρετικά.
Ναι. Ξέρω, pragmatic, μπορεί να κάνει adapt, μπορεί να κάνει manage το παιχνίδι, ας πούμε, και παίχτες σέβονται τον. Δηλαδή, τα πράγματα είναι σημαντικά πράγματα. Και είδα τον Πασιρού, το μήνα στον ότσο αυτές πριν λίγο, και δηλαδή, δεν δέχεται μαλακίες που κανένα. Είναι αυστηρός.
Ξέρει που μάπα ο άνθρωπος, δεν έπαιξε μάπα, ρε.
Ναι, μα και χαρακτήρας του είναι ποτσινός που να... Μα και μου. Δηλαδή, θα τα δέχεται τούτα. Φύε, ας με κάνει δουλειά μου. Θα με κάνει κανένας ό,τι θέλει, δηλαδή, όποιος και να είναι, όχι μόνο οι παίχτες.
Και άρεσε μου που... Ναι, σίγουρα, ρε.
Ναι.
Και άρεσε μου πολλά σήμερα που έφκαλε αλλαγή το Λοΐζου και τον Αγκαλιά, Εμίλαν του.
Ναι.
Δηλαδή, εντάξει, τώρα είναι που του είπε, δεν ξέρει κανένας. Αλλά φαντάζομαι και...
Είσαι άχρηστο.
Άντε, fuck off, go home. Άντε, δεν κάνεις τίποτε.
Στο ρόλο.
Για τους η ψυχολογία παίζει ρόλο τη γλώσσα. Παίζει ρόλο τη γλώσσα.
Σίγουρα.
Sorry, Tony, αν μας χωρεί ακόμα, πέ μας τάχα, does that mean δεν το θέλεις τον Αναστασίου or do you want someone else?
Where did you think the turning point was on the game today? That you said we're going to win it. If you thought we were going to win it.
I didn't expect. I'll be honest, I didn't expect anything today. I didn't expect anything. Whether it was a win, draw, lose, ό,τι έφτιαξε, αλλά η φάση που μπορώ να σου πω ότι έχουμε chance, είναι που τραυματίσαν τον Ευάντρο. Όχι τραυματίσαν το, που του βατσίσαν και μάτωσαν ο τούτος. Να σας πω γιατί. Ναι, επειδή είχαν το control του παιχνικιού, είχαν το control και έκαναν το φάουλ και νευριάσαν.
Another guest.
Yes.
Hello.
Carry on. I'm listening.
Ναι, John Πουλαλό, είχαν το control του παιχνικιού και την ώρα και για στο Ζάιρο. Εν τέλος ήταν σε την φάση, μα δεν του κάμα τίποτε, λαλί. Δεν του κάμα τίποτε. Όχι από το ψήσα. Και ύστερα έρχεται ο άλλος λαλί του έτσι. Ύστερα ο άλλος λαλί του άλλος πώς. Και χωρίς τους ούλους κάνουν το τούτους. Δηλαδή κάνουν το τούτον τους τα είχα την... Δεν μου η λέξη. Την ηρεμία τους που είχαν το control του παιχνικιού και μετά έποκατσε λίγο το παιχνίδι. Είναι πολύ στην Πάφο να χάνει πολλές ευκαιρίες μετά από το incident, να έχει πολύ control. Και είναι η ευκαιρία που ήμασταν πολλά τυχεροί που είχαν το double save που ήταν, αν δεν κάνω λάθος, και κοιόξαν την Τιουγκού και η φάση, είχαν και άλλες πιο πριν. Δηλαδή, είχαν αρκετές ευκαιρίες να βάλουν γκολ, αλλά είχαν και τις ευκαιρίες που να πεις holy shit, ας πούμε.
Εκτός μια βόλτα με απόκριση ο Φαμπιάνο, που ήταν που...
Ναι, με τα πόθηκια του.
Ναι.
Για μένα, εγώ τζάμε που πίστευκα ότι we could win this game, ήταν που έβαλε ο Κακουλή μέσα. Και είπα του εαυτού μου ότι να δέρουμε στην μέρα, γιατί η Πάφος έφυγε πολλά ψηλά και μετά που πήγαινε ο Ιωβέτης δεκάρι και ο Κακουλής ο μπρος, ήμουν σίγουρος ότι ήταν να βρει μια φάση να βγει ο Κακουλής να βουρήσει. Γιατί όπως ξέρουμε ο Κακουλής πρέπει να είναι, όχι πρέπει να είναι, είναι ο πιο γλύρος παίχτης του πρωταθλήματος. No doubt. Είναι ο πιο γλύρος παίχτης μας. Τέλος πάντων, for me he's the fastest player in the league. Και όταν μια άμυνα βγαίνει τόσο ψηλά και αφήνεις τόσο όφτσερο τον Κακουλή, ήταν να σου κάνει τη ζημιά όπως την έκαμε και σήμερα. Γιατί αν ήταν ο Ιωβέτης στη θέση του Κακουλή και τη φάση, ήταν να χάσουμε τη μάπα. Δεν είναι αργός παίκτης ο Ιωβέτης. Αλλά αν διαθέτει χώρο του Κακουλή, η ζημιά να γίνει όπως έγινε. Γιατί for me that was a turning point που έβαλε τον Κακουλή μέσα. Γιατί ευκαιρία και η Πάφος πολλά ψηλά. What do you think, Reste?
Yep.
That's
about the game or the substitutions?
Oh, in general. What's your opinion?
Hey, boys, I'll be honest with you. It was unrecognizable, this Omonoia. They were defensively organized. They were getting stuck in. It was very different to what we were used to with Valdas. And I don't want to take anything away from Valdas because he's not obviously the coach anymore. And I don't want it to be like a Valdas trashing segment. But we played very open with him. And what concerned me was the lack of defensive stability. You see the type of goals that we conceded all season. And today, yeah, Buffalo were getting in behind us in wide areas, which has always been a problem all season. But we were dealing with the majority of the crosses in the box, whether it be bodies in front of the ball or winning the first ball and chasing the man on the edge of the box. It seemed much more organized, much more stable. And that's what we've lacked. And as you guys know, when you're going through a bad run of form, the most important thing to do is, number one, get a good performance in. Because if you don't get the result, get the performance in. We got that. Then it was get the result, which is what we got. And if you can, keep the score down, which is what we did. So we got everything right in that respect. You're talking about a Buffalo team that majority of this season, they scored goals late in games. So I expected them to really give it a go, but something wasn't there for them. Now, on the one hand, I'm thinking, well, is it because they've played European games and they've played difficult teams? But the same goes for us.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at a team that was, 9 points ahead of us? So the pressure was more on them to get the victory because of the run of form that we've had, because they wanted to maintain that 9 points. Now, again,
I can say both ways. I can say that we had more pressure because we are the biggest team. And with any loss...
I don't know, bro. I don't think the pressure was on us tonight. I don't think the pressure was on us.
Because if you lose, you're going to be 12 points behind and everything is finished as the biggest team you're in. So,
what I will say statistically, this season, I was saying on the pod today, 4 out of the 5 away games we played this season, right, we conceded 2 goals or more.
No.
The only game we didn't concede 2 goals was Anorthosi. The other one, Karmiotissa, Omonoia and Ari. So 4 out of the 5. And what was the other one? Who's the other one? Shit, there's another one where we conceded 2.
Oh, Nea Salamina.
Nea Salamina. So 4 out of the 5 away games, we conceded 2 goals or more. So
more than 2, 2, yeah.
So for me, I'm sitting there thinking, God, we can't do this. We can't keep doing this. Today was our first clean sheet in 10 games.
Yeah.
The last one was Vikinga 10 games ago, bro. So, you know, for me, going to a place like Paphos and playing that way, even though, as you're right, Pedro, we are the bigger team and we have got the bigger reputation, but they're ahead of us in the league. They're scoring goals at front and center. They're scoring goals late in games. They're coming back to win games like they did against AEL, like they did against Paralimni. You're thinking they've got the momentum. And we're down here from a mentality point of view, from everything, the confidence, everything. So for us to go there and win it in the way that we did, because to be honest, apart from, I mean, first half, Luis had that chance, but he was offside. I don't remember us actually like really threatening them, but it was always going to be one of those games because the more the game grows and your opponent is getting frustrated and they're not finding an opening, you're going to get 1 or 2 half chances. And you mentioned the substitutions. I think Yanni played the blinder here because Paphos obviously were on the front foot for a lot of the game, but they were committing men forward. And if we started with Aliou Ngaguli, I don't think we'd have got those chances straight away because they're going to be defending and defending and defending and doing a lot of running off the ball. But he saw that obviously maybe Paphos were overcommitting men a bit forward, which they did against Apoel and they got caught, which they did against other teams and they got caught. Like even Garmiotissa, they played in Garmiotissa, they were 4-0 up and they're still committing men forward. And Garmiotissa were getting through them a few times. So I think he thought, right, we bring on 2 lads that have still got the energy, they've got a lot of running, a lot of pace in them. Let's see what we can do. And Gaguli, man, fucking hell. Do you know what? For all the criticism he gets, man, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this. It is, because what people don't realize is what he does off the ball or when he's not scoring goals. What are you doing when you're not scoring goals? Are you assisting? Are you creating? Well, today, he ran fucking half the length of the field, ran through 3 players, still fed Humbo. He found the pass to Semedo. That wouldn't have happened if Gaguli didn't do that. But then,
if it wasn't Gaguli and if it was Jovetic, the goal wouldn't have happened because Jovetic couldn't run so fast with those players.
And he was running for fucking 70-odd minutes as well.
Yeah,
but don't forget Bravo. But don't forget, in the build-up to the goal, it was Alium that cut off a pass. I think it was Maric that played it over the top, and Gaguli just ran onto it. That reminded me of remember the Garmiotissa goal that Gaguli scored last season, where he ran onto a loose ball and he just cut it inside and put it in the top corner. It was similar kind of vein to that, where he's taking it on the outside, brought it on the inside, and then played it. So again, I think Yannis played the blinder. And to be honest, I don't care how we win. I don't care. I don't want to listen. If you give me 26 1-0s, I'll take it. Yeah. Fuck it. I don't care. What you think them lot when they were winning 1-0 last season, they were playing expansive? No, it's how you win titles. Grinding out those wins.
You must play smart sometimes, not only Frankie, not always. And you know, and I said it many times why I prefer Gaguli than Stebisky. Stebisky is a guy that must be in the box. He can't go outside. Everybody knows that. But we know if Gaguli starts to run, you can't catch him. Especially when teams play so high like Paphos did today. If Gaguli starts to run, you can't catch him. That's it. If fouling or goal, you can't stop him. That's why sometimes I don't prefer to start him. I prefer to pull Gaguli when we are winning and we sit him back and the other team is coming higher so he can go to a counter-attack. Because if you start Gaguli, he's not, and there's no space, he can't play. Yes, he will run to press, but he'll get tired. He can't do that forever. So it's a little complicated with the 2 strikers. And that's what I believe.
Iligrina, Stepinski was 3rd choice today.
And he's going to be a 3rd choice.
Yeah.
He's going to continue to be a 3rd choice.
It's now Jovetic making more impact than him.
He must be in the box, nowhere else. He's dangerous in the box. When he comes out the box, he's not dangerous. That's it. He can't control the ball. He's not strong. He's not fast. He's a good finisher. That's it.
Yeah, but the thing is, bro, I think Mase Bersi in the derby with Aboel when he scored the winning penalty, he was all right. He was all right, but he showed more strength. And Lafedos, he doesn't like having his back to goal for some reason.
Do you think we'll see, now that Anastasiou is here, I don't know how long he'll be, but do you think Stepinski might be different? Or the
He's
same?
going to be benched more.
Let's say he's going to get a few minutes. Let's say maybe against Sabo, he gets a few minutes. Do you see it'll be a little bit more different or just the same?
Same.
Or maybe the other games or Athnikos, whoever like.
It's down to him. It's down to him now. Because he fell down the pecking order at Ari and they let him go. Now he's come to Omonoia where, okay, bigger team, but obviously Ari's, Stocho is different, man. It's completely different to ours now, right? Now he's fallen down the pecking order here. He's got to get his head right. He has to. Otherwise, he's going to be shipped off. He has to. And don't forget, Yanni didn't bring him in. Yanni didn't bring him in, but Yanni was there when
he wasn't bad though under Yanni last year. He was good. He was all right. I wouldn't say he was terrible, but he did good.
Yeah, of course. But it's a different Stepinski this season. It's a different Stepinski. It's a Stepinski that's been in and out of the team, whether it be due to suspension or just underperforming. And again, I'm not his biggest fan. I'm not here to trash the bloke, but given Jovetic's performance today, I know it's not fair to judge Stepinski based on what Jovetic did today because, for all we know, Jovetic might have missed that penalty and missed a rebound. Fine margins.
Yeah,
we can't forget that. We can't forget that. But at the same time, has Stepinski done enough in terms of his work rate to say that he can play in this system? This season, when I've seen Stepinski as a lone striker having to come deep or go in wide areas, he doesn't hold the ball up well. He miscontrols the ball. He's wasteful in front of goal. Now, you could say it's a bad run of form. You could say that, right?
If you let everybody from the start of the season were down, so only Stepinski, most of the players, and Gato.
Yeah.
So I can't judge only one because I see all the team, all the players are the same. Everybody's down. Nobody was fighting, nobody cared. I don't know what was Parto. So I can't judge only Stepinski. I'm judging all of them. But the system that we play, Stepinski can't do it. If we play front gear all the time, yes, Stepinski is your guy because he's going to find that chance. He's tall. He's a good header. He's a good scorer, let's say. For that system, Stepinski and Galos is going to be front gear. But if you're going to play defensive like you played today, he's not your guy. My opinion.
I would rather have Jovetic.
Just depends on the opponent. Just depends on the opponent. Today we played against two very, very good defenders. Very good defenders.
Strong guys.
Yeah, and you need to be intelligent. And I think that's the one thing that Stepinski lacks as a centre forward. The one thing he lacks most anyways is the intelligence. Right. And again, that's not a knock on him, but you've got Jovetic at a different level. Yeah, now against Aboel, maybe he's going to go with Gaguli because those Aboel defenders ain't that quick.
Well, yeah, especially Petrovic is going to play.
Is Petrovic going to play though? Is he still suspended?
No. No. In the
okay, yeah. Maybe it's Valley. No.
Maybe. I don't know. But listen, at the end of the day, we can only take one game at a time now. It's not a case of, let's think about winning the title or this and that. That's
no.
That isn't even at the front. Isn't even the back of my mind, let alone at the front. I just want us to. Huh?
I just want to go to games like today. I said to the guys, wow, look at this guy, bro. Honestly, wow.
Shameless.
Bully. But I said to the guys, today's game, I had zero expectations. I didn't have any expectation if we were going to lose, draw, or win, or the FT. So from now on, until the end of the season, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be like this.
No, I'm not going to be like this. I'm not going to play Bezo Meningarniotis, Simon Raipu.
But that's it. No. It's not their piece. I'm just talking overall of the season because you're going to have the playoffs as well. But it depends. It depends if we're going to turn the season around or whatever. It just depends. So who knows? But from now, at this point, I'm like with no expectations now. Because I don't know.
Did anyone notice that they were talking about Paphos? And you know that year that Berg was there, 2022 and 2023, they had the same record up to that point, until this point, and they fucked it up. So my question is, after playing them and after playing Ari, who do you think has got more chance of winning the title?
Aris.
Okay.
For one reason only, that I have Europe. Only that.
Yeah. Okay, Stefano?
I don't want to compare other seasons and say it's going to be like this because on the net sheet, then I don't know, Omonoia would have never won the league because they haven't won it for like 11 years, the year we won it. Or like Apollon would have never won the league because they came so close all these years. So anything can happen at any given moment. So I think
out of the two, Ari or Paphos, who do you fancy?
I would still go for Oba.
Paphos. Okay, me too. I still think Paphos this year. Go on, Stadio.
It's difficult to say, man, because Ari going forward, their front line is scary. You know, you've got Savo, Gogorin, Kvilitaya, Montnor, Mayambella, Gomis. There's 6. You know?
Yeah.
Defensively, they still... Bengtson, yeah? Yeah, Bengtson.
Yes.
Defensively, they need to improve, though. That's the one thing I would say about Ari, because Goldson is a Rolls Royce of a defender, man. He's too good. He's such a good player. Seen him for years. Okay, Urosevic is a good defender for Cyprus for sure. Kazul, we know all about him. Boaki is a good player, but then players like what's his name? What's the guy? Oh, fuck, I forgot his name now. It's gone out of my head. The other black player, defender. Oh God.
Musunda? No.
No, Musunda's leaving in January. He's going to go. They're going to sell him and make a big profit. Who's the other one? My God, the name's got. He's been there for ages as well. He's an international. Fuck, what's his name?
Boyaki.
No, I've said him. I said him. Hang about. It's going to do my head in now. How can I forget this guy's name? Shame on me for forgetting his name. Sorry if he's watching. Where is it? It's Have you even played today? You didn't even play today. Shit. Oh, come on now, guys. Help me out here. Tom.
I don't know. Go for Irish defenders.
Let's do my head in now. Fuck's sake. How can I forget his name? What a dickhead.
Steve Yago.
Is it Steve Yago? That's the one.
Yago.
Yeah. See, Yago is defensively, he's like a frog in a blender, right? Because he's physical, he's strong, he's quick. He reads the game well, but he's clumsy. Against us, he's picked up a red card this season for the 2 yellow cards. He gave away a penalty last season for a handball. He's got mistakes in him. Now, once Spilevski gets that back line sorted, where they're stable and they're not conceding goals, because that's the problem with Ari. They concede goals. Like they'll win games, but they'll still concede goals.
Did you see the goal they conceded today against Abuel?
No, I haven't seen the highlights yet. I haven't seen it, no.
There were 3 defenders and 1 PZ, the striker, 3 defenders and PZ, and they made a cross, and 3 defenders just stood like that. one striker, he scored a goal.
Right. Whereas Buffalo have only conceded, 7 goals this season?
No.
You know, defenses win titles, as they say. So that's the thing. The one thing I will say about Buffalo is today what I noticed about them that I haven't noticed all season is the amount of energy and running and speed they have in this team. It's crazy.
It's gonna stop. It's gonna be finished one. The gas is gonna be over.
I'm gonna say this. And I need to watch what I say here, right? I suspect, allegedly, they're doping their players.
Nobody knows and nobody will know.
I suspect. I'm not saying they are, but I suspect. Because for me, and shall I tell you why I say this? I know what
you're going to say.
Their season started the same time as ours. Yeah? And they went on pre-season, I think, before us. I think their pre-season was before us. Mm. They've played European qualifiers. They've played group stage games against big teams. Fiorentina, a big team. And they did very well in Italy. And they came back with almost the same 11. I think there's only one change from the Fiorentina game. And they played with the same intensity, the same speed, the same running, everything. They don't look like they've missed a beat at all. And I'm sitting there thinking, they haven't got that many injuries either. Have you noticed?
No.
Think about the injuries that they have right now. Who they got injured?
They have a good medical team, and they know how to maintain the squad. Oh, it could be that thing you're saying.
I just suspect there's some blood spilling going on or something. We'll see. We'll see as the months progress if they burn out, like you said, Pedro.
They will. Yeah. If they're not in periods like you say, they will burn out. They will.
I don't know, man.
You can't play the same 11 and play front gear every week.
But this is what I'm saying. How have they done it every week? How?
Chemis, Pesumen, zombies.
But this is it. And Buffalo play the same way. When they get the ball, it's 3-1. It's like a 3-1-6 formation. They get 3 defenders, 1 holding midfielder, and everyone else is forward. Dragomir was running from left back to attacking midfielder for 90 minutes.
Dragomir, left back, CDM, Cam, left wing, right wing, striker. Pandu.
So how is that sustainable? How is that sustainable?
Oh, no. You're going to die. You're going to get run out.
Unless...
No.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing what a lot of Premier League teams are doing and giving their players stimulants.
Maybe.
Nobody knows. And we'll never find out.
Do they do random drugs tests in Cyprus?
I never heard that, so I don't know.
I would like to know if their players are being drug tested, and I need to know. I'm interested to know because I suspect PEDs. I suspect
because they would have done it right now. I think. Well, nobody has been tested or anything over all these years.
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't remember anything like that. Yeah.
No.
So that's point number 1. Number 2, I haven't watched No Choftas still tonight, but I don't know who you put down as man of the match.
The uncle.
Sorry? The uncle. So that's 2. That's Stefano and Stel saying the uncle.
I said
Pedro said marriage. I said Koulibaly. Okay. Cool.
3 of them were top.
How can you not watch No Choftas tonight? Shame on you.
Come on. I'm working, right? I literally come home and put this show on.
You have the legend.
Okay, I'll let you off.
I know I saw just a little clip because I know that Bashiru was on, but I'll watch it later on. There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, still, what do you think of, would Yanni Anastasio take the job on fully, or is not ever going to happen?
Bro, it's difficult because have you noticed that over the years they've been? Let's look at England, for example. It's the best example I can give. How many how many managers have gone on to be like technical directors, or they've just taken a sidestep from coaching, and then within a few weeks, then a club needs a manager, and they just come, oh, it's all right, I'm available. It's happened so many times. The thing is, when you're in football as a player, as a coach, you live for football. That's the only thing you know, right? And it's the, I don't know, man. It's the itch. You need to have it. You need to scratch that itch, right? And that's why you do see a lot of footballers that retire. They stay in football, whether it be being agents or journalists or something, because you need that involvement in the game. And as a coach, think about it. Day to day, they're on the training pitch. They're talking to the players. It's their life. And all of a sudden, he's upstairs, I don't know, ticking boxes and making the odd phone call or sending I don't even know if the guy uses emails. I don't know, right? So he's probably thinking,
will you keep him for a head coach until the end of the season?
Bro, it's difficult. Shall I tell you why it's difficult? Because, okay, if he stays as Brobonidi until the end of the season, and you bring in a new guy, right, he's going to have to, put it this way, if he stays as coach, then who does all of the January transfers? Who does all of the summer transfers? Who finds the next coach? Who's going to do all of that?
That's what I said. That's what I said. Yes and no.
I will tell you this from what I know, from what I was told about 3 weeks. In fact, it was the day before the Ghent game. I was told that an agent or agents were contacted by Omonoia looking for a new head coach.
Yeah.
So the search, from what I was told, if we're going by that, the search was started over a month ago, about a month ago, let's say, Paradima, right? Just for argument's sake, a month ago. So perhaps they're already talking to someone now and they're saying, right, let's wait until maybe January, bring you in. And then you've got the transfer window and then to look at the players. So you've got 4 weeks to look at the players and to decide which ones you want to carry on until next season. So the mistake that we made last season was, okay, we brought in Rekdal. I don't think that was a mistake personally. But the mistake was, if you're going to bring in the coach, you need to give them that back end of the season, right? Rather than bringing someone else in the summer, because at least they can see their players and work with them for 4 or 5 months. So the players know what to expect in pre-season and the following season. But what we did, we sacked Rekdal, announced Valdas, right? And he sat at home for 3-4 months, and then they bring him in. That don't make no sense. And the fact is, we only saw him at 2 games? He was photographed at 2 games in the stands.
Yeah.
So he comes in June, July, whatever, pre-season, end of June or whatever it was, right? And then he's got 4 or 5 weeks to work with him when he could have stepped in March, right? Or at least been in and around the club. What was he doing? What was he doing?
Instead of being here, he was in. I saw him in a picture. He was in Rome watching Lazio.
But this is it, bro. Why is he not at the training ground like every other day, or just like maybe a week? Spend a week in Cyprus, then go home, and then come back a couple of weeks later. At least do it regularly, so at least you can see what you're working with.
Question.
That makes sense.
I don't disagree. Question. Sorry, this must be Anastasiou's fault.
No. Shall I tell you why? Because I know 100% that they went for Valdas twice before.
Yeah,
they went for him twice before.
We know about that. We know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is it? First of all, Anastasiou found Nebraska, or you don't think so, or you don't know?
No.
Or
I don't know. No,
you don't know.
Shut. No. I do know. This is what I think has happened. They went for Valdas after Lennon got sacked. He said no. They went for Valdas after Yannick got sacked. He said no. And I know this for a fact, that particular one after Yannick. I know it for a fact. I can't tell you how I know, especially on air. I'll tell you afterwards, right? But I know for a fact they went for him after Yannick got sacked, right? And he said no. The third time they went for him, he said yes, right? I think it was either Grigori or Darabuluzi that went for him the third time and the second time and the first time. One of those two went for him. Yanni's obviously come in after wrecked out end of February. Valdas was announced in March, yeah? So I think they said to Yanni, right, you take it to the end of the season, you get the sporting director or whatever it is, and then this guy's going to take it. And Yanni's probably gone, fine, no problem, but this ain't my guy. But I'm going to give him a chance. However, if it goes tits up, I bring in my guy. It's the same with Janssen. Janssen didn't bring in Sofroni, did he? Right. So Janssen's come in, he said, right, this is your guy. I'll let him do what he's got to do. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. And don't think for 1 second that it was just Janssen that made that decision for Sofroni. I don't think it was just Janssen that said, what, you think Janssen has gone up to Grigori and Darabuluzi, whoever was there, said, right, I don't like this guy. We're not winning games. We lost to Ari. Let's get rid of him. I don't think it was just him. I don't think it was just him. He might have said, come on, it's time to go. And whoever was decision making said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because Janssen wasn't signing these things off. It's got to go through a hierarchy, doesn't it?
Do you think Anastasiou was Papastavrou's choice?
100%. 100%. He knew him from before. And Yanni's smart. Yanni's smart.
Do you think when Papastavrou's said that, I don't remember which interview, he said that he made one mistake? Do you think he was talking about Anastasiou? And he admitted one mistake he did. If you guys remember the interview, I don't know if you remember this interview. It was last year. I don't know. He said about one mistake he did that he wanted him back. Do you think he was what about Anastasiou? If you guys remember this interview.
What did he say? Did he say he wanted him back? Is that what he said?
He didn't say his name. He said I did a mistake.
Yeah.
And I want him back.
It could be Berk, it could be Latko, it could be him, it could be anyone. I don't know.
I don't think it was Latko. I think it probably was Yanni because he had him before. Yeah. And listen, if it wasn't Yanni, then why has he given Yanni such a high position at the club, and why has he allowed Yanni to step down to be the head coach for the time being? So of course it's Yanni, of course. But also don't forget Yanni's smart as well. Because he had he knew he had the trust of Papastavrou, right? So, you know, it works out well for him.
Do you trust now Anastasiou to bring a coach for Omonoia?
No, the question should be, would they let him choose his guy?
Oh, they will.
I think trust is a strong word at this point, because as I said before, now he's on the training field every day. Why would he want to go back upstairs to do that sporting director role, whether it is, unless the season goes tits up. Unless the season goes tits up and he's like, well, I did what I could, I'm going back upstairs. He's a smart guy. He's in a win-win situation. Yeah. If he does well...
Or they have him ready, the coach.
Maybe there's that. Well, look, put it this way: we've got. Don't they have the? What's it called? Isn't there a meeting in a few days to decide the vice president?
I have no idea.
Didn't they say it's in December? They're going to. Didn't they say in December there's going to be a meeting? They're going to decide who the vice president is.
I don't know. I just hear it now from you. I don't know.
Didn't they? I'm pretty certain they said. I'm pretty certain. I could be wrong. So again, it could also depend who the vice president is. Now, here's another question. I'm going to spin it this time. Does Yanni have a say in who the vice president is?
I don't think so.
No? Because he's working side by side with him.
Πέτρο, αν θυμάσαι να μου σου είπα, το παιχνίδι με τη Λέκια που σου είπα ότι πρέπει κάποιος να πιάει τον Παπασταύρου και να του πει πρέπει κάποιος, όχι να συμβουλέψει κάποιος τον Παπασταύρου να φέρει τον ειδικό άνθρωπο να κάνει την δουλειά. Όχι απλά να φέρνει τον που ξέρει ή ό,τι και να είναι.
Ναι.
Και εγώ πιστεύω ότι ο Αναστασίου πρέπει να έχει τον ρόλο για μένα.
Ναι, αλλά εγώ απλώς είπα ότι ο Παπασταύρου θα το διαλέξει επειδή θα βάλει αντιπρόεδρο όποιον και να είναι, να βάλει ποιον που νομίζει εκείνος που να κάνει για αυτή τη θέση. Τώρα ποιος θα το συμβουλέψει και ποιος όχι, δεν ξέρουμε. Αλλά σίγουρα πρέπει να βάλει κάποιον που είναι του ποδοσφαίρου. Όχι να έχει άλλες επιχειρήσεις όπως είχε και ο number 2 που λέει και ο Στέλ, που είχε και επιχειρήσεις αλλού και αντιπρόεδρος της Ομόνοιας και παίχτες και προπονητές. Δεν μπορεί ένας να κάνει πολλά πράγματα, να τα κάνει λάθος σε κάποια φάση. Αλλά πρέπει να φέρει ένα, γιατί ο Γλιόρης δεν ήταν του ποδοσφαίρου. Δεν ήταν του ποδοσφαίρου.
Ήταν business.
Αλλά, ναι, ήταν businessman. Αλλά πρέπει να φέρεις κάποιον που είναι του ποδοσφαίρου, που έχει τα connection, που είναι ένας σκληρός άνθρωπος, που να το φοβούνται, που κάνει αντιπρόεδρος, που ξέρει να στρώσει μια ομάδα. Αν φέρεις εμέναν ή τον Ταραπολούς ή αντιπρόεδρος, να τα κάνουμε πούτους πάλι.
The thing is, bro, the one concern I have, and maybe this isn't fair for me to say, but has Yanni got too much power now? Because number 2's gone, Grigori's gone, Daraboluzi's gone, so there's only one person left that knows the club but also knows Babastavru. Yeah, for the time being, as it stands, has Yanni got too much power now?
Yeah, of course he has. Because it's only him and Babastavru, there's nobody else.
But is he a yes man, or will he actually fight back if he hears fucking bullshit?
I don't think he is, man.
Well, he's the guy that's going to be bringing in the people that might be doing the bullshit.
Could be that.
He's already brought in one of his mates to do the academy for a start.
Oh, Ruther. Oh, okay. And just Bonifere.
Of course, they worked together. They worked together for many years in Greece, in the
Okay,
Netherlands.
If it was up to him about Valdes, surely he would have been maybe not fired as such, but on the verge of getting sacked as well. If it was his guy, but I don't think it was.
What do you mean?
About like Pedro asked you if do you think it was Yanni that brought in Dabraskas, and I said if it was, surely that would look bad on him.
Exactly, that's it. That's exactly it. If he's the one that brought in Dambrauskas and he got him sacked so soon, it's on Yanni's watch.
Yeah.
So we won't want that on his thing. He'd have given him time, but I think it came to the point where, look, we all know how this war was going to end, right? If it waited longer, the noise would have been louder from fans. Imagine tonight if we lost tonight with Dambrauskas. And they kept him again for Abo and we lost that one. Can you imagine?
It would be chaos. It would be chaos. Everyone.
So for all the times I've said they've panicked and they've pulled the trigger, I think they've done the right thing this time because no matter, okay, even if we lost those 2 games and they still stuck by him, hey, you got Christiana, and that was going to affect merchandise sales for sure. For sure. Of course, listen, let's get it right. Guys, look, I'll be honest with you. When our results aren't great, right? Okay, our viewing numbers are pretty decent when the results ain't great. But let's say, for example, if we lose to Abuel and we lose to Paralimni, we're going to get more views losing to Abuel because it's Abuel fans, it's this and that. People will watch the Paralimni just to see us complain, but that's it. It's the same with winning games and merchandise and everything else that comes with the club. When the club is doing well, people are going to want to buy extra tickets. People are going to want to buy shirts. They're going to want to do this. Christmas is coming. And you can't have Valdes Dambrauskas as a head coach, right? With 4 defeats on the trot going into Christmas, right? Can you imagine? The club are going to be thinking, no one's going to want to buy banners or umbrellas for their kids over Christmas or pointless, Angry Birds key rings. They want to do it.
I have a question for everybody. Do you guys trust Anastasiou?
Huh?
Do you guys trust Anastasiou? Not for the coach, for finding a coach, for finding the players, and for organizing the football team. Do you guys trust him?
We've got no option but to trust him. We've got no option.
Yeah, Kiriago.
Yeah, Kiriago. Yeah, here he is. He's back.
All right. Do you believe he can do that job? Leave the options if you have options or not. Do you believe he can do it?
Given his knowledge of the Cyprus League, given his knowledge of the club, given what he's seen and experienced, I should bloody hope he knows. I should bloody hope so.
Do you believe he has the connections to find players, good players and good coaches?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But it's not about that, bro. This is the thing. It's like you can have the connections to bring in the players, but they need to be the right players. Right? The players that we signed this summer, okay, I don't think the majority of them can do what Valdas wanted them to do. I don't think they could.
Said it was Anastasios, most of them. It was Anastasios, most of them.
Well, I think so. But then you need, look, bro, I could open a can of worms with what I'm about to say, so I'm going to bite my tongue so hard until it bleeds.
Okay.
Well, everyone, our channel was getting shut down.
No, it's not. It's not. No. Okay, I'll just say it right. Look at Adzili. This is for me. This is the point what I'm getting to. Yeah, right. Okay. This is what I'm getting at. Right. You've signed a player with a bit of a sketchy past. Just put it nice. I just put it that way. He's got a sketchy past. Forget the fact that he was at Upwell for a bit and did nothing there. Okay. You got to talk about his personal life. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go there. But it's a little bit, right? We sign him. He's done absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like literally nothing. He gave one assist against Zira for Semedo, which was that short free kick, right? But performance-wise, he's not been great. But you could say, all right, he needs time to settle in. You could argue that. But his knee is made out of fucking glass.
Yeah.
Okay. He's fucked. Like he's one of these players that will play one and then who have to rest for 2 weeks and then play again. He's fucked. Right? So then I need to question the medical tests when you bring in players. Are they stringent? Are they MRIs? Are they because if you look, it's no secret the guy's been injured for so long, right? There's got to be something wrong. But you should have picked that up originally from the first test when you brought him into the training ground. Whether it be right, this is what I'm saying. Now, that would be me criticizing the medical team. Yeah, I could turn around and say, well, was it the same medical team that brought in Tajuri Shradi that did the tests because he was a crock? Was it the same team that brought in Brandon Barker with his 13 hamstring injuries before joining us? Was it the same medical staff that was happy to do the test on Bessedin, who had a fucking bum knee? Was it the same medical team that did the test on Amor? Somehow Amor passed the fitness test. Yeah, so that's 5 players. I'm speaking facts here. Yeah, I'm just bringing it to the table. Right, I'm not asking you to eat. I'm just bringing it to the table. Yeah. So there's 5 players that have got sketchy fitness problems. They've passed their medical tests, and I could criticize and say, well, it's the medical team that's not doing the job properly. Or on the flip side, are there people that have said to the medical team, don't worry about it. Just put those documents under the table. Let's just shred them. We don't need to worry about that. We just want these players. Has someone been telling them, we're going to bring in these players irrespective of their trouble?
Do you think it was the Gliori holding a gun to the head and telling them, guys, please sign them. Come on. Come on, lads.
Yes, μπορεί. Αν θα κάνει καμία προμήθεια, μπορεί.
Ναι,
I read, διάβασα κάτι τώρα που μιλήσαμε, ότι ήρθε να έρθει πρόταση για το Λάγκ. Συζητάμε μια ομάδα ο Λάγκ.
Μα πότε που καλοκαίρι. Πέρκι.
Όχι, τώρα το Γενάρη. Για τώρα το Γενάρη.
Έξω.
Another guy who?
But he's another player that we need to cut our losses, Dora. Right? His value's gone down. They were holding on to him because they felt they could get... Bro, like what they did with Loizu. They thought, okay, hold on to him and then, his value was... Well, Lang's only played like 4 or 5 times this season. Most of them have been coming off the bench. Cut your losses. Let the guy go. Let him go. Just sell him. Cut your
We
losses.
should have sold him in the summer. We should have sold man in the summer.
Yeah, no, because the summer contract finishes. And
Well, you need to let him go. Sell him in January. Because he's going to go for free. And all that time you're holding on to him.
Sell him, boss, 50 euro, boss, não vai parapano.
Or maybe the team that's coming in for him, let's see if they've got any defenders that are good enough. We might swap. Maybe.
Paphos. Paphos.
Or Kvida. Get Kvida.
Kvida,
He hasn't played all season. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually get him. Wouldn't be surprised if we get him.
So,
he's a very good player. Eh? He's a very good player.
He's fresh as well. Hasn't played all season.
He's andando agli ondari τώρα. Έχει παίξει μάπα. Ναι. Και εγώ σαν κέιρε, ωραία Κυριάκο μου, πού πάει εκεί πάνω γε.
Είναι πολλά ψηλά, ρε.
No, he's an international. He's an international.
Ακόμα.
Yeah, bro. When he goes on international duty, the club makes about 6 or 7 grand per game he plays.
That's why they keep him.
Μα γι' αυτό που τον έκανε. There's no other reason why they kept him. Because of this.
In
major tournaments, they get 10-15 grand.
Yeah.
If not more.
Did you hear about the πρόταση που ήρθε η Οκαγκουλή?
No, team in Slovakia. Is it Slovakia? Slovenia.
So, I don't know.
Well, if they got the money, hey, because Gothenburg didn't have the money.
Yeah.
I would have wanted to.
International, right? So maybe he is even more. Okay.
Okay, a good price for him.
Yeah. So what do you think happened?
No, go ahead, Tom. Go.
No, I was just gonna say, what do you think happened there, guys? Like, did they just because I didn't think it was a lack of effort that got the Baskas fired. I think they did try. But I don't know if he was complicating it. I think he burnt out a lot of the players that we have. Tonight, like the effort shown, we haven't seen that for a long time, you know. So I don't know if it was like because I don't know if it was lack of effort or just like I said, lack of understanding on what the Baskas wanted them to do.
I can't say that ότι έκρουσαν τους. Δεν μπορώ να το πω ότι έκρουσαν τους, γιατί today I saw them like they're very fresh fights. They were running up and down. So I can't say that he burned them out. It's just the way the system that Nebraska was playing. It wasn't good enough. I don't know. There was something wrong with the system. Players, we have good players. I think the problem was the system. That didn't know. Then εξέραση σε πού παίζουν, σε ποια θέση, πού να τρέξουν, πού να μην τρέξουν, ποιον να μαρκάρουν. Το κέντρο είχε μια άλλη απόσταση που την άμυνα και άλλη τόση απόσταση που την επίθεση. Οι γραμμές μας ήταν πολλά μακριά.
Yeah.
Για μένα το πρόβλημα ήταν το σύστημα. Και είπα το πάντα λάλλον εγώ ότι το πρόβλημα είναι το σύστημα. My opinion.
Stefano or Stegio, who wants to go in on that? Probably just agree with Petro because that's what I think it is. Go on.
Oh yeah, I agree, and I think he was holding the players back as well. Now, whether we believe these players are good or not, or amazing or whatever, they have quality, and we know, and we saw today was completely different, completely the opposite of what we were seeing defensively, especially the way we were getting stuck in, the way with Klissam and Paphos, we were like completely different, like marking them as well. And the other games, complete. Like, it was just another. I was watching another team. It wasn't this team, and it's just that also boils down to the manager as well, big time. It boils down to him. So it could be the other thing as well that I asked, and I brought this το άλλο την άλλη συζήτηση. Λαλώ και εγώ, προσπαθούσαν να το φαλαχάνουν. Πού την άντρη. Because they got tired of his nonsense. Could be with that. Claro το. But it could be that. But I personally think that he was holding them back, mostly.
Okay.
For me, it boils down to a few basic things, really. We've got to bear in mind is that Dambrauskas is a very modern coach. Yeah, very modern in his approach to things, all about, you know, the technical side of the game. But the one thing that, for me, he lacked was the mental element. He'd always talk about tactics. He'd always talk about how teams can break each other down and talk about transition and use all of the buzzwords that the coaches use, like modern day coaches. But he never really spoke about mentality and the basics in terms of heart, desire. You know, that was the first thing, because I'm thinking, how do you galvanize this team? If you're a goal down at halftime, what does he say to them in the dressing room?
Yeah.
Is it the nicely approach, or is he losing his shit? And I only saw him lose his temper once on the touchline, and that was against Omonoia, and he was getting angry with the fourth official. So he's standing there with his arms folded, you know, licking his lips and just staring about. How can you get? I mean, for all the fucking stick I gave Sofroni, the one thing I can give him is that fucking hell, he would really give it to him, but he knew how to. Do you know what I mean? All right, after a while, it does get tiresome, but I don't think Dambrauskas, it's not, you could turn around and say, well, he couldn't find the right balance. He just didn't have the other side of the coin. That was the first thing for me. The second thing was that...
No, finish.
No, Karen.
It's like what Bash said before. Anastasiou doesn't take shit.
And don't Pupa.
Dambrauskas, like they say, good guy. Anastasiou doesn't take shit. When he's, I don't know, angry or anything, they understand. They're like afraid of him. With Dambrauskas, I don't know.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Too nice.
So if your coach is in the dressing room and he's just saying, don't worry, boys, you know, just give it your best. No. Because, again, I think, again, he's another... And this is the other problem. When you bring in a coach, you need to have a coach that understands what is required. Now, you could say, well, look, he coached Ludogorets, big pressure there because they have to be the champions. Hajduk Split, big pressure because they have to be the champions. But because he's experienced that before, it's almost as if, well, you know, whatever, it is what it is. That's just how they are. No, because when you have that mentality, it's like, well, I've lived it before. I know how to deal with it. Well, bro, you weren't there for a prolonged period of time. And there's a reason. There's a reason why you weren't there for 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah. He won the league at
Let me have a look at his stats, right? Valdes Dambrauskas. I need to see this because I don't even know how long he spent at clubs. Right, so let me bring it up on my thing, right? He was at Offi for almost a year, right? 38 games. At Hajduk Split, he was there November to September, almost a year. Ludogorets, January to October, not even a year. Like Goritsa, February to January, just under a year. So he hardly spent, I mean, the longest time was at what? RFS Riga, he did 3 years. At Zalgiris in Lithuania, he did 3 years. So the previous, before this season, he did a year off, not even fucking over a year, at 4 or 5 clubs. So what does that tell you? He doesn't last over a year.
Except Ludogorets, the other teams that you told me, they're not big teams. They don't
Hajduk Split are a massive team, bro. Hajduk Split is a massive team in Croatia. Big team. Yeah. It's them and Dinamo Zagreb, but they're the 2 big teams.
Yeah, but no. All right, I agree, but I just want to say that, or Bulgaria, or that team from Croatia, big team. Yes. There are 2 teams competing for the title. This league is about 5 or 6 teams competing for the title. It's different for him that he hasn't experienced that. Went to the league with 5 or 6 teams are competing for the title. He went for leagues that 1 or 2 the most teams are competing for the title. So the pressure is different. It doesn't have
bro,
he
went to Offie. He went to Offie.
For what?
But this is what I'm saying.
No.
Listen. I can tell you what I think. I'll tell you afterwards. I can tell you what I think afterwards. But we'll go into that afterwards, right? But the other thing about Valdes, right, is it's almost as if it was like, I'm only going to play this way, right? I'm only going to play this way. He only went 3 at the back, against Ghent? He went 3 at the back against Ghent, away from home. And against Omonoia, he went 3 at the back, kind of with Masura as like a wing back, with Juncker at right back, moving into the central. So he only started with 3 at the back once, yeah? And this is what concerned me, because there were games this season, like, for example, Ari away from home, where, like tonight, you go there just to get a point, get a result. Doesn't matter about the performance, just don't lose. So you can stay in with the running, because I'd rather have 1 point than 0. Yeah? And when you're losing games, it rubs off on the squad because the confidence drops. So go there, go 3 at the back or 5 at the back, make it defensive, try and nick a point, or even might nick a win like tonight, and it changes the whole dynamic. But what he was doing, he was going with the same system, doing the random things like playing with Humble as a 10, making him chase everything down, drop to the left wing, Hamas dropping as a 3rd centre-back, Juncker goes on the right, and then Simic spins on. It became predictable. And look, I hate to bring this up again, but people were shitting on me for the Hearts podcast that I did. Well, you tell me what I got wrong there.
Nothing.
So if I'm seeing it as a guy that just does podcasts, can you imagine what analysts that study games and look at statistics, that's their paid job? So it's no surprise that Paralimni were fucking stopping us from scoring, and Omonoia Gosenya was stopping us from getting more than 1. We needed a penalty against Omonoia Gosenya. So is it a surprise when teams know how to play against this system? The silence says it all. The silence says it all.
Yeah, bro, I cannot disagree with you. Spawn.
Ήταν φοητσάρις πολλά. Ήταν πολλά φοητσάρις.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, έτσι.
We played Paralimni with 1 up front. Omonoia Gosenya with 1 up front. Malaga, these are the teams you should be smashing left, right, and centre. Play 2 up front.
You should be having 7 players up front against these teams.
Τελειωμένα παιχνίδια από το πρώτο ημίχρονο.
You should be peppering them, demolishing them. But you didn't do that.
2 things from me. We mentioned about Gakuli, and then we mentioned about Sofroni as well. The one thing I give Sofroni credit for, he gave us a blueprint of what Gakuli did. Do you remember the game against Apollona last year when we beat them 2-0 at the Lassi beat? And that was probably Sofroni's best performance. The running that guy did that day, the closing down, that's the Gakuli. Daxi, you're not going to play like that every week. You're going to have bad games, but that is the blueprint of what he can do.
Bro, he was doing that under Lennon. He was doing that under Lennon. Even the Berg's time, he was doing that, bro. Like the thing is with Gaguli, you know what you're going to get from him, right? You might not get loads of goals, but you're going to see a lot of running, a lot of effort, a lot of determination, right? All right, he can't hold the ball up. All right, he gets kicked off the ball, but he's a problem because he runs into those spaces that defenders don't like. He plays off the shoulder. He likes those balls over the top. He can win you penalties. He can win you free kicks.
Cards. That is what Gaguli can do. He can win fouls. He can win the yellow cards for the opponents. He makes them tired.
For me, what Sofroni did best were 2 things. Number 1, galvanize a team that was bereft of confidence, right? And the second thing was make us a little bit more defensively stable. He had us organized, but then it became predictable. It became stale because you knew that when you get that ball in the centre-back area, he's going to put it into the channels. That's how it became, and that's why I think he's going to. That's why I think he's going to do better as a coach for the national team because he's not with the players every day. So they're not going to have to put up with the screaming and the shouting and the because they get bored with it. They get bored of it. I know players myself. They said to me, like, it's great to have a coach that motivates you, but you know, when it's the same guy clapping and giving you orders for 90 minutes, it's like, well, you gave us our team talk before. We've been working in training the whole week. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this for 90 minutes? It becomes tiresome.
I remember I went to when was it? I played Othello last year. And I sat on the Othello stand because I couldn't find tickets που καθόμασταν εμείς.
Νιου.
Όχι, δεν μήνα, έτσι το νιου. Νούμε δεν με 2-1 που γυρίσαμε. Πέρσι. Που το βάλανε ο Κούσουλος στην τελικό.
Was that the game he finally put 2 wins
Sorry,
in a row?
I thought that was Ayaz. Sorry, you're right.
Νιου μήνα, έτσι.
I got mixed up with Ayaz for some reason.
Θα θυμούμε ρε φίλε, κάθομουν για μέ και ήταν μπροστά μου ο Σοφρόνης, ήταν πέναντι. Και άκουα το συνέχεια. Λέω, τσιο κουράστηκα ρε. Τσιο κουράστηκα, που τον άκουα. Δεν σκέφτομαι οι παίχτες. Δεν που νιώθουν. Ή δεν που ακούν συνέχεια. Κάθε μάτσο. Ναι, αλλιούμε στο τέλος.
New contract for Kusulos now, quick.
Ρε Στέλ, ξέρεις με ποιο καθόμουν και το μάτσο. Καθόμουν με τον Τιακίτε τη Σαλαμίνα. Καθόμασταν μαζί.
Nice.
Stell, because you don't mind me asking, because you obviously work in football, have you heard any murmurs about who is interested or who might be getting it?
Nothing whatsoever.
Nothing. Άκουσα εγώ έναν όνομα. Gets fired.
No, but you know, if we're talking about psychology and try and pick these players up, but I don't know if he would take it. What about Ben Simon?
He's an Israel national team coach, bro.
Would he not leave that? Yeah.
No. I wouldn't want him either, to be honest.
Really?
Fuck off there.
Is there
What do you think?
player
It will just be predictable.
like today? Is there any player you didn't like today?
Any players I didn't like?
Yeah. With a
No, not really, no. For what they did, like they did what they had to do. I mean, Evandro did all right as well in that role. Didn't get caught out. I mean, he took a blow to the head as well, to be honest.
I tell you who I wouldn't like if it was 0-0 and Jumaji Valio missed that chance they missed in the last minute. Was sometimes getting on my nerves. Okay. Matt, I have to be honest, he is actually a very annoying player to watch.
Ναι, κράημα από πολύ ώρα. Ρε, είχε φάση σήμερα. Ήταν ο Γιώβετιτς, ποιος ήταν ο Σίμιτς και ο Γιώβετιτς ευκέναν μπροστά, ζητούσαν τη μάπα. Ποιος έκραν τη μάπα ακόμα, 10 ώρες. Και μπαίνουν να κάνουν και κιλούκια και χάσαν.
I actually think he's a very one-trick pony type of player. I really do believe that. And there's a reason why Paphos sold him, in my opinion, but anyway.
Φίλε, βοήθησε πολλά αμυντικά μας σήμερα. Πρώτη φορά τον Ιαν to help in the defense so much today.
Yeah, but go back to what stages you wouldn't have Simon. Is that just a particular reason, or you're just not sure about him?
No, because what you've got is a coach here that doesn't really stay long term at clubs.
Right,
pretty simple, really. Like, if you want stability, you can't have a guy that, you know, halfway through his contract, he gets a phone call from the national team saying, do you want to come? Okay, fine. But what? You've just taken your team from, you know, I was struggling under Ultra. They were really struggling. And then he took them on a really good run. And then he gets a phone call from Israel. It's like, well, the season's almost about to end. Do you want to come? He's like, I'm in a title hunt here. And this is the other thing. Yeah. Your team is close to winning the title. You're close to winning the title. And then you decide, oh, I'm leaving. So what does that do to the players? Like, he ain't going to be here
So
next
wait a
season.
minute. He accepted the job before the season was over.
Yes.
Ναι.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Ξέραν ήδη ότι είναι να φύγει.
That's a David Brent move.
It's mad.
Oh.
It's all mad. And people think that it doesn't have an effect on the players. Of course it does. Players that contracts are expired at the end of the season, they're like, what am I here for?
Hang on. Sorry to go back to that reminds me of Arsene Wenger when he said that time, nah, it doesn't matter about me staying or leaving. It doesn't affect the players. And then at the end of the season, he goes, I think my time wasting about my decision actually affected my players. Yeah.
Bro,
But yeah, what did you do with this image?
Oh, image.
For you.
Why? Why? Because he spent, 3 years at Bark?
Γεια στον Πάοκ. Και κύπελλο.
Is that it? Fuck's sake, man. Come on.
I
Come on,
see
let's not do
actually
this.
είναι από την αλήθεια ότι είναι ένας που γίνος ότι πράστον ξαναρούν.
Guys, did you hear the name that they said to Anastasiou in the press conference? Do you guys remember the name? They asked
What,
him
Johnny
about
Van Schip? Johnny Van Schip.
Yeah, he was smiling. Who's that?
What, is it Johnny Van Schip? Is that the one they mentioned?
Something like that, no.
Yeah, he used to be the Greek national team coach. He was at Ajax. He used to be at
Is it good
Ajax.
to know?
Oh, that's
No,
what
I
he's
didn't.
smiling.
Well, from what I
So
remember,
like-
the Greek national team didn't do too well with him around. So, and he's 60 years old, for fuck's sake. Like, what are we doing here? No, what are we doing?
Πριν Σαββίδο. Πριν Σαββίδο.
Like, what are we doing? 60 years old. Like, what is this?
Retirement.
But this is. Look, he was the technical director of Ajax in the worst spell of the club in about 30, 40 years. Why would we take him on? And this is another thing what I was saying about, like, it's a little bit dangerous having Yanni then pulling all the strings because he's going to bring his jobs for the boys, as they call it. Johnny Van Schip.
Oh.
Johnny Van
Van de
Schip.
Boer. Bring Van de Boer.
Bro,
Eric Ten Hag.
Johnny Van... Bro, but listen. You laugh, but Ten Hag has won trophies, right? Johnny Van Schip has only won one trophy in his career, and that was the Australian Cup with Melbourne City. With Melbourne City, that, you know, they didn't exist before Man City bought them. Like Johnny Van Schip, I remember him as a player. Yeah, I remember him as a player.
Yeah, that's nasty. I'm not gonna that.
So why are we going to bring him?
So you haven't heard anything, but have you, in your head, do you feel like anybody that makes you think, yeah, maybe?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. Honestly, don't know. If it was my choice, and money wasn't an issue, I'd pick up the phone and I'd get Sergio Conceição, the guy was at Porto recently. Get him. He's someplace in Cyprus, plays on Rotterdam. Get him, because he's a fucking lunatic. Love it, but money is a problem, and they won't go for Conceição.
I don't know if he'll come to the Super League.
So they
I
wouldn't
think
go for
he'd rather go
Sampdoria.
to the Premier League or something like Spanish League.
Well, how long's he been out of a job?
Oh,
He's been out of a job since when? Algeria.
Which coach, sorry?
Gino στις Πόρτο που ήταν πέρσι. Καλός,
Ah,
προπονεί
right,
καλά.
Conceição.
Ναι, προπονεί καλά. Maybe he'll go like Greece or something like that. Like, I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you want to go for an over 60, Luis Castro is available. He was at what's it called? Ronaldo's club, the Portuguese guy. Al Nassr. He was there. He was with Shakhtar. He was with Botafogo. He was with Porto. Like, he's got a strong CV. If you want to go for someone that's over 60.
Carlos Queiroz?
Oh, fuck's sake. Don't do this to me, man. So, but again, I think it just goes down to who Yanni knows. I think that's all you can do now. Piece it together. Because I'll be very surprised if it's like a name that isn't linked with him in any way, shape, or form. I mean, what about Gus Poyet? You know, he's a lunatic.
He's okay with the national team. Greek national team.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. But I think this is come to the point now where they're going to take their time about this, because really and truly, would anyone complain if Yanni had the job until the end of the season?
No.
Right. So they know that at this moment in time, people are going to be all right with Yanni having the job until the end of the season, unless results go sideways. And then when? Because the other side of the coin here, boys and girls, right? Can you imagine people going to be saying, well, the players know that he's not going to be head coach, so why would they want to play for him? But at the same time, if he's going to go back upstairs, then they don't want to piss off their boss.
But that's the thing that annoys me about this whole thing with Papastavro. And we spoke about this last time, and I said to Petros and Stefano, like, I would love to be behind the curtains just to see how he is in these meetings, because I get it. He admitted it. He's not a football man. But surely in 6 years or however long he's been in Omonoia, he should know one or two things. He must have picked up something. So if it is literally Yanni Moore, do whatever you think is right, I think that's a ridiculous system. I really do think that's stupid. He has to have a say in it.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
We don't know.
Well, Pirlo is available.
Yeah, why not?
Get him on the pitch as well. We need a fucking decent midfielder.
We need 6. Bring him in.
One of the best. Not decent.
Yeah, Pirlo at 45 can do better than Gusulov. Fucking hell.
Better than most midfielders in the league.
What a player he was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to say one more thing. I'm out. Like I said,
I think we should wrap it up.
Petros, Nasazisi, by the way. It was your son's birthday yesterday, no?
Yesterday was his birthday, 7 years old.
Oh, happy birthday, Nazisi.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah.
Baby. Anyway, like I said to Tom and Stefano before you came here, still, for me, if we win on Saturday, I believe it's going to be a turning point. Because if you win 2 derbies in a row, really, that's what I believe. Because after you have 3 or 4 games in Stametrasu, you can win them. I believe if we win on Saturday, the next 4 games we can win them, and we're gonna be για τα καλά στη μάχη του τίτλου. Για Εθνικό, Σαλαμίνα, ΑΕΚ and Ανόρθωση. So I believe we can win these 4 games. But if we win on Saturday, I believe we can not turn things around, but we can be there close to the first places. Μέχρι τα playoff.
So, anything can happen, yeah. But
anything can happen. Now it's just talking now, but
I'm just not expecting anything. I'm not. My expectations ain't raised because shall I tell you my main fear that Yanni does such a good job, right? And let's say for example we finish second. Let's say Paradima, we finish second, and we see a strong defense, a solid unit. We're seeing the fight. We're seeing the hunger. We're seeing everything that we want. Yeah. Or we don't win anything, but we're seeing progress. And then they bring in a new coach, and he completely dismantles all of that. And we bring in 10 players in the summer because we got rid of 10.
Let my team in Bercy. He wants to tell charge.
And the year before. Ah.
Yeah, I mean, keep it low. Is there a mother? Recycle. Θα βρεις ποτέ τίποτε. Έτσι θα βρεις.
It's very important. Είναι πολλά σημαντικό να βρεις έναν αντιπρόεδρο που να ξέρει πολλά καλά από ποδόσφαιρο. Γιατί του Παπασταύρου ξέρει, ούτε ο Γλιόρης ξέρει. Πρέπει να βρεις έναν αντιπρόεδρο που να ξέρει από ποδόσφαιρο που μπορεί να αλλάξει την εικόνα της ομάδας σε πολλά επίπεδα. My opinion. Anyway, παιδιά, καληνύχτα. I have to wake up in 4.5 hours.
Good night, bro.
Καληνύχτα, ρε. Καληνύχτα.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tell you what, Stefan, you do the honors and wrap it up.
Focus up.
Yeah, go for it.
As I said, I'm happy with the performance, the way we played, our character. Like I said, completely the opposite. Με το παιχνίδι με τη Legia. Now I'm looking forward to the game against them lot. It's gonna get rough. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of fans as well in the stadium. Cheering for the team, and that's what we want. We want them to prove us wrong. We want them to do the right things, to do the basics, to show hunger, fight, all this good stuff. And that would just, honestly, mean a lot, because that's what we want at the end of the day. That's what we want.
Before we close, Stel, this is for you. Kiriako's asking, where's Roy?
Bro, Roy is a businessman. He's got his own company and everything. And Christmas is like a really, really busy time for him. Like this time of year. So I think when I came to Cyprus, he'd just got back from Turkey, I think, because he went out there on business, and he went to Romania like the week after. So, I spoke to him not Saturday gone, the Saturday before. And he goes like, it's a really busy time for me, this and that. I said, bro, like, don't worry about the pods. Like, your business is more important than this.
Yeah.
I do this as a hobby, but at the same time, it's like, I work from home, as you guys know, like I do loads of pods and this and that. My family's cool with me doing this, but obviously he's got business, he's got 2 daughters and everything. I'm like, bro, just sort your work out, sort your family stuff out, spend time with them, whatever, and then come fresh in the new year. So there's nothing there. He's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
promise.
Good. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back on Saturday from the derby. Thank you for Pedro and Stelio jumping on. If you're new, subscribe, like, share, and like I said, we'll see you on Saturday at Gaeta. Good night.